French overseas territories cast their first votes in high-stakes legislative elections.
Officials in Ukraine say at least 11 people were killed in Russian attacks across the country on Saturday.
French overseas territories cast their first votes in high-stakes legislative elections. Voting was underway in overseas territories in the Caribbean, off the coast of Canada, and the South American territory of French Guiana. More than 2 million proxies were registered in France and abroad for Sunday's elections. Candidates ended their rapid campaign at midnight on Friday, with political activity banned until the first round of voting on Sunday. Elections for the French National Assembly are a two-round process and will continue next weekend. Macron's decision to call a snap election after the right-wing National Rally's success in European elections this month stunned many and sparked uncertainty within Europe's second-largest economy.
Officials in Ukraine say at least 11 people were killed in Russian attacks across the country on Saturday. Moscow has stepped up airstrikes in a bid to drain Ukraine's resources, often targeting energy facilities and other vital infrastructure. In a post on X, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said 7 people had been killed in missile strikes on the town of Vilnyansk. He also repeated his appeal for more weapons and better air defense systems from Western allies. The Ukrainian Air Force said on Saturday that it had downed 10 Russian drones launched in overnight attacks. Meanwhile, Russian officials said at least 5 people had been killed in Ukrainian strikes in the Kursk region.
Russian attacks in residential areas in Donetsk killed 4 civilians and wounded 6, according to the regional governor. Most of the casualties were reported from the frontline village of New York. Local media report that Russian forces are slowly advancing in the area while intensifying their attacks against civilians remaining in what had previously been a less intense sector of the front line. In the Russian border town of Gorodish, a local official said 5 people, including 2 children, were killed by a Ukrainian drone. The official said the incident appeared to come from a copter-style drone fitted to drop explosives over targets. 10 Ukrainian prisoners were released from Russian captivity with the help of the Vatican, according to Ukrainian President Zelensky. Some of these civilians had been captured before Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022.
Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has condemned racist and anti-Semitic remarks made by members of the ruling party's Youth League. Speaking to reporters in Brussels, Meloni said anti-Semitism and racism are incompatible with the Brothers of Italy. Those comments come after 2 members of the National Youth resigned over anti-Semitic slurs and threats made against a Jewish senator. The left-wing news outlet Fan Page claimed in its expose it had video evidence of National Youth members using racist slurs and making Nazi salutes. There's been outrage from members of the Jewish community of Rome, with some calling on Meloni to punish the youngsters involved. Brothers of Italy has its roots in the Italian social movement, a party formed in 1946 by supporters of fascist dictator Benito Mussolini. The Norwegian capital Oslo has held its annual Pride Parade as June's Pride Month draws to a close. The 2-hour march ended in the so-called Pride Park in the central Sofienbergparken. Oslo Pride is Norway's largest celebration of love and diversity and focuses on equal rights and human dignity. It's created by around 80 year-round volunteers, with around 300 extra getting involved during the 9-day festival.